So they will finish 5-1.
Hello and welcome back into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you've been here before and haven't subscribed yet, please do so and turn on a notification bell. That'd be wonderful. Also, the thumbs ups and your comments. Love the comments. All right. Well, as you just saw, I had predicted a 5-1 record by the end of October for our incredible New York Knicks. And this video, let's jump ahead over here. All right, so this video is going to be a look ahead at November. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replay the November predictions portion of the original Ultimate Predictions video that I did a couple of weeks ago that I dropped before the season began. And then I'm going to do a recap at the end of it where I talk about, I'm going to revise my actual predictions a little bit because this team is showing a lot of heart, a lot of versatility, a lot of dimension that, I mean, we kind of saw glimpses of it, but weren't sure they were going to come together this quickly. And interestingly, I think this team has a long way to go to become the team that they can be. What I'm saying is, like, their potential is very high. All right, well, let's go. Let's check it out.
All right, so for November, what are we thinking about here for November? November's got 15 games. It's a nice split between home and away, though we do have back-to-backs. So those are going to be a problem. Now, they'll begin with Toronto. They'll beat them because Toronto, hate to say it, they're just not looking that good. And I don't think, I don't know if Siakam's going to be really in game-ready shape by then, but let's hope they will. I want everyone to be at their top form. You know, if the Knicks are going to win, they're going to win it because they beat the other teams because they play better. Then they're going to go into Indiana, away game. I am going to give this as a loss because if you look at the way that the schedule is, so they were on the road, which before against Chicago and then New Orleans, they come home for a Toronto game and then they go on the road immediately again. So the wear and tear of the road might start getting to them, and Indiana is going to want to prove a point that they can compete against playoff squads. So they may rally and take that game against the Knicks on November 3rd. And the same with Milwaukee. Same with Milwaukee, and also it's the second game on this mini road trip, but it's really kind of a 4-5 road trip. They'll probably drop that game as well, though I could easily see them winning it. I could easily see the Knicks winning that game, but I'm putting it as a loss because they come back home on the 10th to play against Milwaukee, so I'm going to make it a split between those two. And the Knicks, they played Milwaukee well last season. They're relatively similar teams the Knicks are more improved than they were last year, than the Bucks have improved. So then, drop that game to Milwaukee in the 5th. Go home, crush the Cavs. And here I do think the Sixers get their revenge match. Plus, it's a back-to-back. It's an away game, even though Philly's not that far from New York. I'm going to put that as a loss. So the Knicks are going to start off November a little bit rocky. They're going to start off 2-3, but then they're going to get that home match against Milwaukee, and they're going to get their revenge. So then they'll even their November record to 3-3. They're going to go down to Charlotte. Charlotte, I don't believe the way that they're put together has a chance against the Knicks, personally. That's my opinion. And then here we go. The Knicks get their revenge on the Pacers because the Knicks are a better team than the Pacers, and they will eventually just always get more wins against them no matter what. Then we have the Magic. Magic, Houston, boom, boom, 2 wins with a nice break in between. After the Orlando game, they're going to be at home. Davis is going to be, work on some more things, getting them all straightened out. Any kinks that may have been happening with the team, if any issues or whatever, I think they'll work that out. They'll have those extra days to work through that. Then they're going to go to Chicago. And I think they're going to drop another game against Chicago. So, and because, Chicago's improved and it's a back-to-back. There's 3 back-to-backs in November. Here's the thing. Knicks could win this. They're playing Houston at home, and they could just jump over to Chicago. They could take that game. So that's the one that I'm like, maybe Knicks can take that one. But I'm putting it as a loss right now. But if they do drop that loss in Chicago, they are going to come. And one of the reasons is because they have the Lakers on the 23rd here in November. Big TNT game. I think the Knicks are going to be up for it. Last season, they played the Lakers very well towards the end of the season. They couldn't pull out that win, but they were in Los Angeles. This time, it's going to be in New York. Put that as a W. And same exact philosophy and thinking here against the Suns. I think the Knicks are going to take that game against the Suns because they're going to try and make a statement that they are ready to knock on the door of those upper echelon teams. Those the 8 top teams in the league. They'll have to win at least one of these 2 games, but I believe that they can win both. Now, the Atlanta game, again, the back-to-back situation on the road. So we have 3 back-to-back games on the road in November after being at home. I'm putting all 3 of those games as losses, but the 3 home games as wins. They will split those, is what I believe. Now, here for November 30th to close out the month, I am giving this L to the Knicks here against the Nets. Now, if Kyrie is not playing, that could go a different way. So, there we have it. So the Knicks will end the November with a 14-7 record.
All right, well, there you see. I predict a 14-7 end of November record for the Knicks. However, the way these Knicks are actually playing, now, I mean, that prediction was made preseason. The way they're actually playing, I think these Knicks could finish as good as 16-5. I mean, there's a possibility they go 11-4 in the month of November. Could even be a little higher, but there's some big games there. Bulls, 2 against the Bucks, another rematch with the Sixers, and a game with the Nets, and we have the Hawks. All really good teams, strong teams are going to be competing for home court advantage in the playoffs, so it's not going to be easy. So it may end up being the 14-7 originally because, like I said, I look at this kind of in its aggregates, how one game affects the other, you know, who the team was facing as they came into playing us and how they were playing and things like that. However, of course, that was all done preseason, so it was hard to really know exactly what's going to happen. Like Indiana is a much worse team now than I thought they were going to be, but who knows? They could pull it together. But however, 14-7 is the safe. I think 16-5 is closer to the actual result. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this. And again, please subscribe, thumbs ups, drop your comments, and I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.